Welcome to round 5 of Formula Rally. The Rally of Kent, 16 stages, and as always, we're sure of plenty of drama. So the crowds came to Ashford and the Formula Rally Roadshow. Amongst some pretty tasty rally hardware was Justin Dale's new Peugeot.
Great looking little car, and I think it's going to make a really good rally car. With a bit of luck, we'll have it out for the next rally, which is a tarmac one, and yeah, if it goes as well as it looks, then it's no one's going to stand a chance, are they?
Dale and co-driver Andrew Bargery are already making it difficult for others. After victory in Scotland, they lead the series by 6 points. As the season's progressed, there's been plenty of shuffling of the pack. Anderson appears to be on a roll, but at the top it's between Rowe and Dale. At the moment, advantage Dale.
It's a good position to be in, yeah, definitely. It's not much of a lead, it's only, 6 points, which is 10 points for a win, so... No, we've got to look this weekend to extending that lead if we can. Wait and see in the morning.
A repeat performance of Scotland would suit Dale down to the ground. There, his greatest rival, Martin Rowe, had a nightmare. Forced to retire in the end with engine problems.
Yeah, we had a bit of a disaster in Scotland. Obviously losing the lead to the championship, so we're just going to go flat out tomorrow, same plan as Scotland, and hopefully without mechanical problems we'll come out the winners.
Proton's Matt Anderson and Claire Mole had their first Formula Rally podium place in Scotland. Anderson's upbeat about the Rally of Kent.
Very good. We have a new engine that worked very, very good. Give us some more horsepower. So I think it's going to go very well.
With Neil Simpson still injured, David Higgins has a wheel for the second time in the Polo. This car has really struggled to deliver its potential. VW were looking for a podium place here, and the build-up had gone well.
It was a very, very good test last week on the gravel, which we made a bit of improvement, and I obviously got the chance to find out what the car does, so that was very nice. And we had a good shakedown yesterday trying the car on some of the tarmac stuff, so we're hopefully as well prepared as it possibly could be.
Belgium's Francois Duval has already proved he's quick. Third in round 2 at Silverstone, and he's back in action for the first time since then. Quite a battle's in prospect between him and Frenchman Patrick Magot. Both are quick. Magot, though, speaks better English.
Est-ce que tu vas gagner le rallye aujourd'hui? On va essayer, je pense qu'on n'est pas venu pour rien et on va essayer de faire le maximum. Ouais. He say he can win.
The last time we saw Max McKillen's pretty Citroën Saxo, it was looking pretty ugly. That smash bruised the pocket rocket hard.
So it had a similar effect on me for a couple of weeks, but now we're back again. The car's looking prettier than it was before with this new little colour scheme on the bumper there. And hopefully by the end of the whole thing we'll be back up there with the leaders.
Next year being up there with the leaders will be even tougher. MG, one of the new teams that will be entering. Early the next morning, the Formula Rally Roadshow had headed east to the Isle of Grain for the first 4 of 16 stages. Justin Dale started the season on the tail of Martin Rowe. He arrived in Kent on the back of 2 rally wins, and his confidence showed in his driving.
Square right, narrow cut, 120.
And his navigating. No shortcut opportunity was missed.
Right, small cut, 80. Turn square left, 40.
A hallmark of this team is their combination of pushing the car incredibly hard and staying so composed inside. It was a formula that was again working. Dale set the early pace. And he was quicker just than Martin Rowe and Chris Wood. 6 seconds off the Peugeot pace in the first stage.
Right 8, 40.
Despite having the same ability to shorten the course.
To right 7, cut and fence. Looks okay. Through brambles, 50. Go right 9. 40.
Rowe's teammate Patrick Magot, lying 3rd overall in the series, is ready to pounce if either Dale or Rowe should self-destruct. Magot proved in Scotland that he can recover from a slow start. But on stage 2, his recovery resolve would be tested to the limit. As the Puma ground to a halt. But neither Patrick Magot or his windscreen wipers would give up. There was always a chance it would start. David Higgins and Mike Gibson looked fast. They finished the first stage in 6th, 4 seconds from a top 3 position.
Gibson hip, then turn left 2 plus, round yellow.
On stage 2, they went one better. With Magot out, they finished 5th. Last year, Higgins was winning this rally convincingly, going for 4 wins in a row before mechanical problems forced him out. This year, he was getting in the groove.
Past junction 100.
The new driver-co-driver partnership was sounding slick.
30.
The Polo, though, was about to rebel.
3.
Dreadful noises from the gearbox.
Left 330.
With the car almost stationary,
Left 2 plus.
co-driver Mike Gibson continued to call the shots until it was all over. With front runners falling so early on, would this be another Formula Rally where just staying the course could deliver championship points? Max Anderson, though, was not relying on others to open the door. He'd struggled in the early rounds this year and was so determined that the podium place in Scotland would be the shape of things to come. After the opening 2 stages, the Proton pair were lying 5th. Not scintillating, not bad, long way to go. Providing Anderson could keep the car rolling, and there seemed to be a problem. An anxious look from Claire Mole. And a temporary hiccup. Or was it? Magot's problem was turning from temporary to permanent. He was a feature of the rally, but not in the way he planned. Paul Wedgbury has delivered some outstanding stages this year, in the running for top privateer. But like so many, his successes have been punctuated with problems. And when the co-driver Neil Dashfield got out and the car went backwards, it was not a good sign. The unlucky Wedgbury out on stage 2.
Just a couple of miles into the second stage, and now we're accelerating down the straight, and all of a sudden I was fighting with it to keep it in a straight line, and I felt obviously something had gone wrong with the steering, so we pulled over and had a look, and it's the steering joint there where it fixes onto the hub. The hub has actually cracked away, so it's end of rally for me today.
Ian Barrett was another young driver out to prove his potential, and he started really well. The 21-year-old from Huddersfield with co-driver Andy Coupland have a dedicated team behind them, although like so many of the privateers, they lack the resources of the works team. After an early bath in Scotland, disappointment again, another early casualty. Martin Sansom was again mixing it with the works drivers, ahead of VW and Proton after the first stage. This team came to Kent leading the privateers by 10 points. Score well again here, and they really will be difficult to catch. If Max McKillen had not shrunk his Saxo in Wales, he could have been fighting it out with Sansom. In Kent, McKillen was, as he said, taking it quite easily. As the event gained momentum, so did the Irishman. 9th after the first stage, 5th after 4 stages. McKillen was making his Saxo 6th. With Magot's works Puma down, Ford were looking to the Belgium to get into the chocolates and deliver manufacturers' points. Duval had his own agenda. 3rd at Silverstone in round 2, he wanted to better that. He was driving fast. After 3 stages and over 14 minutes of rallying, just a second slower than Martin Rowe, just 7 seconds off Justin Dale's lead. The Belgium and the Frenchman were having very different days. But everyone's day was about to get exciting. On stage 5, the rally was about to deliver something rather different. Something that would test driver skill and tenacity, and co-driver composure. As Martin Rowe and Chris Wood pushed the Puma down the straight, they were heading for a right-hander. And then the road surface turned to glue.
40. Jump into right 2. 60.
Lose momentum here, and they could get totally stuck.
7. Continues and tightens to right 9. Right 7 tightens to right 9. 60. Left 5. 60.
Rowe wasn't expecting this, and his Puma was wearing the wrong tyres.
Left 3 over jump 100, turn left 9. No, slippy braking for left 9. Into turn left 9 through gates. 40, right 2, 300.
Rowe and Wood were through the worst. Justin Dale and Andrew Bargetts had a treat in store. None of the drivers had been able to recce this stage, so it was a potential banana skin for everyone.
40. Big jump and right 2. 60. Right 7.
But where Rowe had struggled, Dale was adapting quickly to the conditions.
60. Square right. 60.
Making light work of it
5 in.
and gaining a huge time advantage over Rowe.
60. Left 3 over jump. 100. Hair turn square left. Yeah, left 3. Square left. And square left through gate. 40. Right 2. 300.
Dale was out of the trees, but there were plenty more surprises on this stage for him. Listen to the co-driver.
Turn square right, don't cut. 130.
Dale was confused.
No, round. Turn square right. 130.
Bargetts put him right, but they were losing so much of the time they gained on Rowe.
Turn square left. Yes, here, after gate.
Dale sounded rattled.
60. Turn hairpin left. 40.
And angry.
Turn square right. Into left 5.
A couple of reasonable times on the first couple of stages, but that last one, the marking of the stage was just, well, it's just you're in the lap of the gods, were you on the right road or not, and we went actually down the wrong way. Had to come back, turn round again, so we dropped a fair bit of time, but that's the way it goes. But to throw that away just like that on stages so short, you can't afford to give any time away.
Rowe and Wood were extremely perturbed after that stage. Chris Wood was quietly calculating just how much damage had been done.
643.
Martin Rowe was in no mood for talking. He did eventually talk. He was, though, far more direct about the stage inside the car.
100 to finish.
About. Are we rallying here or what?
Just a big surprise at that last stage. Basically, we were allowed to recce all the stages apart from one, and really that stage was critical for tyre choice and car setup because it was using more gravel, and obviously we didn't have our own notes, we were using organisers' notes, and to be honest, the stage wasn't marked very well. We were getting to junctions and you thought you could see where you were going, and then just as you're about to turn in you see another arrow, and at the corner would be a 90-degree bend instead of a 70-degree bend, and they used a link road in a forest where it was just so little grip. You know, we literally nearly got stuck going up a hill. So, not a good stage. I don't think it was worthwhile running that at all, but...
Well, familiar battleground, Rowe v Dale, but lots of other cars are finding it tough just to stay out there. We'll see you after the break. Round 5 of Formula Rally was munching through machinery. Now the pressure was on Martin Sansom. Gearbox problems on the Peugeot. His rally was going well, but whilst the problems could be fixed, they were due out on the stage. Turn up late and they'd be penalised. It was tense too in the Proton camp. All day Matt Sanderson had been complaining of irritating problems.
We had a bit of a problem this morning, so we fuel pressure and loose front discs and, well, nothing major, but lots of small problems, so I think we dropped a lot of time. Should be able to fix it, so it's no problem, but we're just having a day.
But at least they were still playing the game. VW would have happily swapped positions. Their rally had folded much earlier on. Another day that failed to deliver.
Yeah, it was a huge disappointment really. We had quite a good plan for the rally. We preserved the tyres for the first two stages, and we had a different type of tyre ready for the next two, which we didn't go front to rear, which would have been good in that slippy stage that you probably heard everyone complaining about. And we were really hoping to have a good one in there, but it's just a case now of what may have happened, but unfortunately it's an early retirement, and watch the scenery.
It was time for the rally to move into the forest. Francois Duval was enjoying the countryside in a rather productive way. He was now first Puma, just ahead of Martin Rowe and Chris Wood, with Patrick Magot out. Duval was driving fast and consistently, inside the top 3 on every stage so far, and putting Dale under real pressure. Dale was on a mission to get things back, punching the Peugeot through the forest.
Left 8, into left 7 and right 7, 80, left 1 over flat crest, 80, right 4 in maybe, into left 3 and right 4, open through junction.
And Martin Rowe was in no mood to let just Dale and Duval fight for the big prize. He looked good and was good. Halfway through the rally, Rowe won his first stage, stage 7.
Right 6 in, and left crest at 5 plus. Opens to crest, left 3, 15, left
He delivered a repeat performance on stage 8.
30, right 5. Opens and right 5 in, left 4 in over crest, ruts
But not without a few nearly moments.
to left 9.
Martin Sansom and Phil Wells did fix their problems and threw the Peugeot round the stages. They delivered 4th fastest time on stage 7. Exactly the same time that the Proton pair, Anderson and Mole, delivered.
To crest 30, left 2 plus, continues through junction over holes 30. Left 2 minus, right 2 plus. 40, keep left of a small crest to right 3 short. To left 2 slippy.
This team were looking solid for championship points, just off the pace though of Duval, Dale and Rowe. But there were still issues. The fuel pressure problems had worsened, with fumes and petrol inside the car. Long faces signalled a shortened day. A baffled and disappointed team.
Gates to the red all the time. They're coming up to you. Just,
Oh well, live to fight another day.
It's getting a bit too dangerous. We're losing lots of fuel on the roads, in the car, and that's too dangerous basically. So we just call it a day.
There were some smiling faces in the service area, but for Proton, there was always next time. In the Peugeot Super 106 Cup, Gary Jennings was flying. The Ulsterman really getting to grips with the forest.
Small crest 40, turned up 5 left over bump. Into bump dip, could be mucky. Bump 5 left over box. Into bump dip 200.
Jennings Jennings scored his second rally win with a 12-second margin over Ryan Champion. Despite this off, 2 wins now for Sean Woofington in the Pumas. His victory means that 3 drivers go to the final rally with a shot at overall victory. In the VW Polo Challenge, David Bateson was the dominant force, winning ahead of Clive Wheeler. Whilst in the KAs, Darren Snape made it 6 out of 6, an emphatic champion. In Formula Rally, back on the Isle of Grain, the finale was 4 asphalt stages. Max McKillen went into the final stages lying 6th. After 2 blasts around the asphalt, he still had a championship point. He just had to finish, while a red-hot catalytic converter forced him out. At the front, though, it was incredibly close. Sansom started the asphalt stage 1 minute 30 off the lead, 10 seconds off third. He finished the rally in 4th and comfortably was first privateer. Martin Rowe went into the final 4 stages in 2nd, just 13 seconds off the lead. Rowan Wood gave it everything.
Set to 100. Chair, right 6th.
They finished 11 seconds off the lead, but 3rd overall. That's how close it was. Dale went into the final 4, 21 seconds behind Duval, but out to win. And on each of the final stages, began to reel Duval in. Still using the shortcuts, Dale won stage after stage.
Square right. Into square right. 80.
He pushed his car to the limit and sometimes beyond. But had he done enough? It had come down to the wire. Stage 16. It was too close for conservative driving. Duval had to push. But again, the Belgian driver failed to match Dale's pace. Dale had caught up massively. He had come so close. Duval, though, was the winner of the Rally of Kent by just 4 seconds. So what a finish to the Rally of Kent. Martin Sansom first privateer, but what a battle at the top. Duval and Thornton did just enough, though.
I know that a lot of English people were not looking our name on the beginning, but we did it, and we are quite happy because I mean we changed a little bit the figure of the championship, and we come back for 4th. I think they should be happy too.
And for you, a perfect day.
Yes, very happy.
So Duval's victory has moved him up to 3rd overall. Rowe now 8 points behind Dale, who's pretty pleased with his Rally of Kent.
We couldn't have pushed any harder in them last 5 stages, so in all fairness to Francois, he's driven an excellent rally.
But driving home, the bigger issue is, championship-wise, things are looking pretty good.
Yeah, we've gained another 2 points this weekend, but in front of Martin, so we're 8 points clear in the championship now. So yeah, it's looking good. Everyone wants to win, but 2nd place is just as good today, really.
Ford are back on top in the Manufacturers' Championship, but just 2 points in it with 2 rallies to go. The Rally of Kent, though, belonged to Francois Duval. We're off to the Jim Clark Rally in Scotland. We'll see you there.
And you can see that next Saturday at 11 o'clock. Well, next on 4, extreme sports, extreme music, as Manchester gets totally bored.